Everyone, Alex Terrace here. So I wanted to do a video, long time coming, on NuCalm. And this is a technology that you see right here on the screen. It is one of the more important modalities, I would say, or therapeutic approaches, technologies in the marketplace today in the modern world. And the reason is because it is the most well proven for shifting the body from a sympathetic nervous system state to a parasympathetic state. Now, generally, you're navigating between both of these, depending on the time of the day, depending on what's happening to you. This one is the fastest, most efficient, guaranteed way to shift gears. Okay, if somebody's stuck in sympathetic a little too often, which is unfortunately very commonplace. It's a very, very, very high majority of people are erring on a little bit too much of the sympathetic overdrive too often. So we'll just talk very briefly about what all that means. If you don't know, certainly it's a great thing to just watch a couple YouTube videos. I highly suggest it. It has to do with your autonomic nervous system. And we'll show you a little diagram here in a second on what that is. This is a great little section right here under the neuroscience, talking about it and talking about the unique patents. So the autonomic nervous system, it regulates all kinds of different functions in the body. It's connected to your central nervous system and your vagus system. It's a lot of information, especially the last 15 years, especially the last 10 years on the vagus system and all the things we're learning about how it regulates so many different organs and functions. And so the whole neuroendocrine response from the gut to the brain, all these different things, circadian rhythms. This is, again, the central command and control in terms of those messages is in the autonomic nervous system. So when they talk about it being patented, okay, this was a long amount of research that the founder, Dr. Blake Holloway and Tim Poole and a whole team of other people, really, again, it was accumulation of several decades of all kinds of research that came together to create this kind of trifecta of modalities in this system called NuCalm. And so they did, in fact, patent it. Patents don't always mean a lot. Sometimes it's just a way to protect, a business. It doesn't always necessarily mean that it's something that's going to actually therapeutically help you. Patents, there's going to be patents and intellectual property for all kinds of things. In this case, though, what makes this patent really highly unique in the neuroscience space, the health hacking space, just the health space in general, dealing with modalities that impact your neuroendocrine system, is that they actually, to get the patent, they had to prove that pretty much in 99% of cases, meaning people, that they could actually statistically correlate, again, 99% of people, that they would shift from a overall sympathetic tone of dominance to a parasympathetic state, which is like crazy. Nobody's ever achieved getting a patent with even that type of concept autonomically of getting somebody into parasympathetic. And I believe in the patent, it was like within 20 minutes or something like that. So of course that required a lot of data to back that up, a lot of actual studies done in labs and things like that to prove that, qEEGs and brain maps and HRV and a whole lot more to show that that's actually happening. So currently there is no other product that has that kind of guarantee to create that parasympathetic shift, which is awesome. Because as you know, if you're listening to this, or if you're a practitioner or a business or whatever, you deal with all kinds of people that have so many different contributing factors of influencing their neuroendocrine system. We could talk a long time. There's whole summits just based on like the vagus system and nervous system and stressors and toxins and gosh, you name it, right? So again, when you're dealing with so many people, it's nice to know that you can literally change your mental state on demand. So they do, let me go over the NuCalm system in terms of the trifecta of modalities that can create this shift within 20 minutes. So they have different programs here that are in the app. Okay, so it's app-based, connected to the hardware. All right, so you have different ranges here. You got your gamma, beta, alpha, delta. The newest addition to the group, by the way, was the gamma, which is great. This is good for people that are high performance athletes, people wanting to wake up in the morning without stimulants, or middle of the day. Usually middle of the day, it's good to have a nap. So there's a whole like restorative nap system in here. Usually you can kind of tell the difference if you just need to hone in and focus more, or you need to actually do a whole reset. So it's got a lot of different useful programs in here, broken out over the different ranges of brainwave patterns. Okay. And again, just read the website if you have no clue about this kind of stuff. The website's definitely educational enough. He also has a really good book as well that covers it. Basically, these are the areas in all the research that this system actually influences. So it's not just autonomic, even though, when I talk about neuroendocrine, I'm also kind of referring to HPA axis, which is hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal. All these things work together, honestly, and there's a lot of education information you can learn out there on all that. Reticular activating system is very exciting in particular, because there's, again, not too many modalities and therapies out there that affect the RAS system. This part of the brain is constantly vigilant and watching patterns and is affected by those patterns. Stressors, patterns of all kinds, right? From different lifestyles, where you're used to working, things you're used to doing. A lot of these things can get so hardwired into the brain. So the key is like, how do you unwire those pathways efficiently? And again, there's a few other modalities, and you can reach out and chat with me about those as well, how this fits into an overall protocol. But addressing all of these right here, and then that's the bridge between both hemispheres, is like fantastic. Just being able to do and affect all those in one modality efficiently in 20 minutes. There are larger programs that go longer than that. And there are some that should go even slightly shorter. Okay, just FYI. But you can touch all of those in a very efficient period of time, which means that you can have an effect on people with so many different conditions and needs, young and old. So they focused a lot initially on like helping with dentists to basically reduce the stress and anxiety and discomfort and pain. They've done fascinating case studies and with so many different dentists, but it's really appropriate for literally, in my opinion, I consult with many different clinics and centers on what are the best modalities to bring in. The common oversight that I see, let me click on this now. The common oversight I see, especially in health clinics, and actually just people even putting together like their own program at home for healing, is they just skip over. They don't really have anything significant, substantial for the HPA, the RAS, the autonomic nervous system. So the issue is that this whole impact of stress, which you should really read about how today it is pretty much one of the leading causes of what disrupts our lives, our normal rhythms, and especially sleep, which is so crucial and can lead absolutely to all these conditions and a whole lot more. Okay. But how do you get a hold of patterned stress that really is just like the norm with a normal modern lifestyle? Everything's been so normalized. You really have to, again, work with modalities to untangle and unwind all of those ingrained patterns over years and years and years and years and years and years. Okay. So you have to know what tools 100% are proven to do that. And again, there's not a lot that back it up with research, with solid studies and case studies and you name it. Okay. So this is one way to unwind all of that in your life. They also use these little patches. These are biosignal patches. If you're familiar with LifeWave patches, which you can always chat with me about, I've done incredible research over, 30 plus years on little patches that you stick on different like meridian points, basically on your body. And it reflects back different frequencies, essentially. So maybe it's like the frequency, not for this, but for these LifeWave patches is a good example. Like what if it's the frequency of a certain copper peptide? So if you're using it on the right meridian point in the body, which interfaces with the nervous system, you can influence a frequency signal, basically, going with the central nervous system in the brain. That elicits then a transcription response, where a peptide is basically like the chemical component, amino acid component for a signal, some sort of electromagnetic signal, that's coming from some part of the body, the brain, the gut, whatever, okay, which then synthesizes a bunch of different compounds and all kinds of stuff, enzymatic reactions. So this is working on the pericardium meridian on the inside of the left, around the wrist area, basically. You stick that on, and in their studies, they found that basically this was having a better response on the autonomic nervous system, influencing through the heart to the brain, than when they were using their cranial electrostimulation device. So just look up CES, cranial electrostimulation. Like Fisher-Wallace device is a very well-known cranial electrostimulation device, great research. They used to use something like that. And when the system was like $4,500, $4,500. Then they ditched that device, even though the majority of the research was done with it. And they did some research and they found that these actually are also as good, if not maybe more efficient for some people. If you still want that cranial electrostimulation device that was part of the original system, I tracked down the company that they used to use, and I do have it below in the description box of this video. So normally you'd also strap those or stick those electrodes behind the ears, if you see where I'm pointing, right behind the ears, which gets into the autonomic nervous system back there and the vagus. There's many places when you stick them there, basically, that it affects your sensory motor cortex and all kinds of stuff, trigeminal nerve. Anyways, so you can still buy that device from this other company. I'll have a link below, and you stick them on there, and then you would run the program. Now they just got the stick-on pads, okay? And the other thing that they used to use in the original system that is not in here, as you can see, is they would have a topical transdermal Gaba. It was Gaba and gosh, what was the other compound in there? There's lavender, and I can't remember the other thing. There's maybe some other neurotransmitter as well. But basically, when you did the transdermal, Gaba is a neurotransmitter that's your main one that's inhibitory. It helps modulate many different things, and they talk about it on this page about what Gaba is doing. But it basically helps, one of the things primarily, to get out of fight and flight, the GABAergic system, okay, used by the vagus system. To help get into alpha and theta waves, and regulates melatonin, does all kinds of stuff, but it's related to the sympathetic going to parasympathetic, cortisol, HPA axis. A lot of people are running very low on GABA these days. So it's affecting even lymphatic activity when you sleep at night, how refreshed your brain gets during those times. Anyways, so they would also used to offer a transdermal Gaba. There is one other company out of Texas doing that. There's also Gaba patches. And I personally like Quicksilver Scientific's Gaba and L-theanine, liposomal, 98+% absorbed. If you want a discount on that liposomal line, which is the best in the world, I can offer that. Just contact me. That's a great system. They also have a CBD that's full spectrum from hemp, and it also contains Gaba and see, what was L-theanine in that one, and also 5-HTP and some other things. So they have a specialized CBD formulation from Quicksilver Scientifics that is with the CBD and other precursors, neurotransmitters that are related to helping the body wind down, essentially the more inhibitory parts, rest and regeneration. Okay, it's a pretty cool formulation, and CBD has there's a lot of research and a lot to go over in terms of how the endocannabinoid system helps regulate also this HPA axis, autonomic, vagus, everything, sleep. It's inflammation, all kinds of stuff. So CBD actually would be very synergistic as well with a NuCalm system. So basically, you're essentially putting on the eye mask. So it's dark, okay, right here, because when you block out light, your brain will naturally, if you're lying down, start to shift into an alpha state, okay? Then you put on these really deluxe headphones, which I think is from Beats, or is it Beats, or I'm trying to remember, it's super high grade audio. Anyways, you put those on, the audio is on your actual app here. And we do suggest using good headphones because the audio has so many layers to it at different frequency ranges. Infrasound, in other words, there's stuff you would hear, there's things you will not hear audio-wise. So you want a really good range of high grade, but so it automatically comes with it, okay? These really good headphones. And so usually the best thing to do as part of the modality for all kinds of people is middle of the day when you can squeeze in 20 minutes. It's good to reset the body. That will provide literally anybody, depending on whatever your health goals are, with a vast myriad of benefits. Going all day long without refreshing, resetting like that, it just over years and years and years pushes the body in a way that eventually also affects your sleep and many other functions. The idea of taking a siesta middle of the day is really something that actually has been well studied, and you don't need to sleep for like 2 hours. That's the beauty. This system is designed to take you an alpha to theta, depending on the program you're using, that can be the equivalent, especially once your body starts to entrain to this system, can be the equivalent of getting about 2 hours of sleep in the middle of the night. So imagine if you could get the equivalent, and they say really 2 to 5 hours of deep restorative sleep if you do a 45-minute. So that is all very well proven. The key to proper rest, is really being able to create these shifts in the nervous system and the brain. And if you can enter those deep states, and the thing is, you can enter those deep states anytime, not necessarily just in sleep, to produce a lot of the same physiological metabolic responses we see during sleep. Okay, so a lot of those benefits to the body are not necessarily exclusive to sleep, like middle of the night I'm talking about, when most people sleep. Okay, so this is an incredible health hack from the standpoint that not everybody's getting proper sleep, to not get into it. Okay, most people are not. Second is they're also just not getting even enough quantity. So for 20 to 45 minutes, if you can start to squeeze that in, your body will be able to rest and regenerate. And that cumulatively is very, very, very powerful. Maybe one of the more powerful modalities around in the industry in general. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else on this page. Yeah, check out this page, because it does, if you know nothing about these systems of the body and what it regulates just about everything. So that is why working with your nervous system is a modality you need to integrate with your other protocols and other things that you're doing. And when you basically go into a parasympathetic response where you're resting and regenerating, you have to keep in mind that any other modalities that you're doing are actually going to have a much better effect. So when your body is in sympathetic drive or overdrive, the analogy is like you're in the middle of running a marathon. Your body is not primed to heal in that phase. You're literally running, right? So if you could throw other modalities at the body when it's in that mode, it really won't have much of an effect, unless it's something like extremely supportive to being in sympathetic mode. Like if you're about to do a workout, for example, there's some supplements you can take and other modalities that support working out. But again, if you're trying to rest and regenerate, like in more of that mode and heal, you can't be running a marathon, right? But people don't even realize that. They don't even know actually their biorhythms, that their nervous system, their heart, all the different functions in their body are in that mode. So they don't shift out of that gear, and then they go and do other modalities that then gives them limited effects. So really, if you think about it, ensuring, guaranteeing, knowing that you're actually getting into this phase of things, making the shift, restoring your rhythms, and then as a prerequisite, right? And then putting in other modalities, okay, other protocols after the fact. This is really how all the other work that you're doing to heal yourself or to heal others, that's how you really get some solid traction. So I do notice this is a big oversight. Like there's a lot of clinics, great functional medicine places, you name it. They don't ever really address the quality of a person's sleep. I mean, it's mind-boggling, but really that's besides like not eating fast food. Sleep is really like one of the most important things. Do you eat for 8 hours a day straight? No, but you sleep for 8 hours a day or longer, or you're not sleeping enough, or the quality's not good. The point is, it's something that is a huge amount of our time, and there's a good reason for it, because the body is busy doing a lot of different things, mostly resting and regenerating from all of the breakdown and all of the stressors and things that happen basically during the daytime. Okay. So that's all I really kind of wanted to say on this. If you wanted some of those additional products that they don't sell with their original system anymore, I can guide you on where you could go and find those things. There is also below in the description box, there's also below in the description box another supplement that is the most well-validated supplement on the market, technically. 24 million research, 17 studies with one of the top biochemists and formulators literally in the entire world, one of the most accomplished. So that one was designed specifically, especially for a variety of brain stressors, brain conditions. So it can handle concussive injuries, traumatic brain injuries, PTSD, and keep in mind, NuCalm was also designed around traumas, PTSD, major stressors to the brain. So this other supplement that you'll see below in the description box below Micro Daily, that one came out of a military research project specifically for the troops to deal with, again, concussive blasts, traumatic brain injury, PTSD, not sleeping well or sleeping at all, not eating well or eating at all for up to a few weeks of not eating. It's designed for multiple forms of radiation, crosses the blood-brain barrier. It's freaking phenomenal for kids young and old. One of the more impressive things I've seen, that probably could be considered, that micronutrient formulation and technology, that way that he's developed it in there, could be considered maybe one of the best complements, besides a Gaba sort of supportive formulation, right? For the NuCalm to get the best results out of that. Really, I've seen the combination to be a total game changer. People shift so much into rest and regeneration mode, conditions literally just go away. The immune system is able to rest and regenerate. Our immune system should be able to do that, but a big piece is these mega dysregulated biorhythms, essentially, and in the nervous system of the brain. So that is an amazing combination. You'll see these couple supplements below with the NuCalm. It's a game changer. You would almost say that you'd want to work on sleep and these areas that these modalities do first with a person for a good month or two to just get them back in proper rhythms of rest and regeneration. And then at that point, depending on where they're at, you might then want to throw in new modalities as needed, but you kind of want to give the immune system and all the other kind of endogenous, organic, self-regulated approaches a chance to actually work. So there are other modalities that are synergistic with all of this and protocols that I do consult for free with people. So if you need any other advice, you can reach me, leave a comment below. And thanks for watching.